How fitting that the last game in Group C will decide first place in that group. Puerto Rico and Türkiye, the host team for the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup. It has come down to this, the final day of group competition, and this is the last game on the docket today before we go to the knockout stages. This is Aaron Sanders. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be on the FIBA YouTube channel as we are going to find out who will end up taking first place in Group C. Two teams that have had a stellar group play at this point. You see the previous scores from today. USA, Lithuania, and Serbia ending up top. USA with a dominating win against Italy to take their group. And now the standings in Group C. Türkiye and Puerto Rico will either end up in first or second. That has already been decided. New Zealand clinches third, and Slovenia will wrap up in fourth place. We'll start with Türkiye. A 2-0 record. They had a double overtime thriller against New Zealand in the first day and then defeated Slovenia by 21. And they're being led by the top scorer in this year's U17 World Cup, and that is Omar Kutalay with 32.5 points per game. It's just not surprising because when he played for Türkiye in last year's U16 Eurobasket, he was the best scorer by far, averaging 24. In Puerto Rico, they're being led by Dwight Gaines, 31 points per game. He ended up with a big showing over the first two games of group competition. He had 30 points in their victory against New Zealand. And remember, he started 0 for 6 in the field goal range before he warmed up in the second half. And when Puerto Rico went up against New Zealand, they only scored 8 points in the first quarter, trailing 19-8. But they outscored New Zealand 38-37 in the second half, while shooting only 33%. Now, shooting hasn't been their niche in this year's World Cup. But if they want to win against Türkiye, they have to have more efficient shooting because they are ranked 13th, averaging 36% per game. Now, the story between these two teams is who will take first place. Türkiye currently has the advantage by way of point differential. They have 33 points. Puerto Rico, they have 22. If Türkiye wins by any margin, they will take first place in Group C. If Puerto Rico wins, they have to win by more than 12 points in order to top Türkiye and take first place away from them. And then we start with a round of 16 tomorrow on the 1st of July. And the winner of this game, or whoever takes first place for that matter, will go toe-to-toe against Venezuela. And whoever falls to second place in the group will play against the Ivory Coast. The games that are already set in stone: USA versus Cameroon, France versus China, Italy versus Canada, and Japan versus Lithuania. So Venezuela, the Ivory Coast, Serbia, and Australia are awaiting the end of this game to see who they will go up against. So let's step aside for the national anthems of both teams, and we'll be back for more in just a moment. This is the first meeting between Türkiye and Puerto Rico since the 2018 U17 Basketball World Cup. It was a group game in which Puerto Rico prevailed 76-68. It'd be a cliche to say a lot of things have changed for these two teams since their last meeting, but nonetheless, here they are playing for first place in Group C. Earlier today, we had the game prediction app, and it showed that 92.5% of you says that Türkiye will pull off the victory here today. And we want to welcome everybody that is tuning in on the FIBA YouTube channel. Glad that you're joining us, wherever you may be. And there's the officiating crew for today's game. From Latvia, you have Gati Salin. From Canada, you have Wasim Asani. And from Brazil, Nicolas Zaviri. Puerto Rico and Türkiye minutes away from tip-off, and Türkiye has their starting five already. You have Darius Karutasu with Arda Öztürk, who ended up with 10 points in the win against Slovenia. Omer Kutalay, the top scorer in this year's U17 Basketball World Cup, and he will be joined by Kartal Bora Şimşek and Noyan Dolan. Türkiye averages 99.5 points per game, second best this year, next to Team USA. They're the best free throw shooting team as well, as they're being led by Hassan Omercic, their head coach. Puerto Rico will start with Jeremy Wilmore, who had a rough game against New Zealand. Only 8 points, but he averages 12.5 in the World Cup. Dwight Gaines, third best scorer in the tournament at 31 per game. Ended up with 30 after going 0 for 6 against New Zealand. John Arroyo will be joining him, along with Darrell Rodriguez and Luis Rosado. Puerto Rico made it here after losing the bronze medal game to Venezuela in last year's FIBA U17 America Cup. Their second bronze medal in that tournament, going 2-1 in Group B play. And in Group C this year in the U17s, a 2-0 record. They defeated Slovenia by 14 in the first day of competition, defeated New Zealand by 8, which ironically, they only scored 8 points after the first quarter, trailing 19-8. Türkiye, since they're the host team in this year's FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup, they automatically qualified, but they placed 7th in last year's U16 Eurobasket. 3-0 record in their group, and they're hoping for the same result by the end of today. Currently, it is Türkiye who has the advantage in the top ladder of Group C. They have the higher point differential, which is 33. Puerto Rico has 22. So again, the situation is all Türkiye needs to do is win. They'll get first place. However, if they lose, they have to lose by less than 11, because if Puerto Rico wins by 12 in this game, they will take first place. Welcome again to everybody that's tuning in. Warsaw Iconic tuning in on YouTube. A lot of newcomers here, part of the rookie tier of the FIBA YouTube membership on YouTube. From Lorenza to Miguel, glad to have you join in. This is Aaron Sanders. Thank you for joining us. And we're set to begin to see who will end up in first place in group play. And as the PA announcer says, it is game time, and Puerto Rico wins the opening tip. Dwight Gaines, the captain of Puerto Rico, will start with the ball. Puerto Rico in their white jerseys, Türkiye in their red. Luis Rosado, who had a rough game, fires it from downtown off the mark. And Karutasu picks up the rebound. Best rebounder in the U17 World Cup, averaging close to 13. He ended up with 14 in the win against Slovenia. Down underneath, Tolan with the reverse off the mark. Noyan Tolan, who turned 17 on July 24th, will get a chance to make his first free throws. He have yet to make any in the first 2 games of the competition until now. You know, it was 2 years ago where Türkiye pulled off the upset against Spain deep into the tournament, and they ended up winning the bronze medal against New Zealand. And they're hoping that they have the same fortune and even better in 2026. Tolan knocks down both free throws, and we're underway. Dwight Keynes with the floater, off the mark, but he gets contact. The basket won't go. Fadi Haro tuning in to this one. Glad to have you aboard. And don't you worry, there will be a lot of interactions throughout this evening. First one is good as gold for Gaines. He was an All-Star 5 member a year ago in the U17 AmeriCup, averaging close to 22 points per game. This year, he's averaging 31 here in Türkiye. And he knocks down both of them. Türkiye shooting 46% in the tournament, 3rd best this season. Kudalai having trouble. Garutazu looking to bail him out on the near side, and is knocked away. And here comes Puerto Rico on the run. John Arroyo leading the charge. He misses it. And it's ran back by Kudalai, who sends it to Garutazu, who banks it off the glass. Good night. And a quick steal, and Garutazu gets it down. 6-2, just like that. It's just like 2 years ago. They're very fast on defense. The underneath goes down for Jeremy Wilmore, who gets his first bucket of the game. Wilmore of Balboa Academy with the shot, and a shove leads into an offensive foul. So Puerto Rico will get the ball back. The one thing about Puerto Rico, as I've seen in the last couple of games, they are very aggressive on defense, and there are some times which could lead into their discipline disintegrating. There were 3 technical fouls against Puerto Rico in their game against New Zealand. Here's the go-ahead 3 from Gaines, who goes high. Rebound by Tolan, who immediately gets contact. Once again, first place is on the line. Türkiye has the point differential of 33, Puerto Rico of 22. So the only way Puerto Rico can get first place is if they win by more than 12 points. Played almost 2 minutes in the final game of Group C competition. Here's the handoff to Shimshek. Shot clock reads 6. They have to hurry up, and Tolan is able to get the dish and the bucket. And you already see Türkiye going down low to start things off. Puerto Rico relying on their mid to long range game. Wilmore in the triple threat, trying to put the moves. Bombs away, off the mark. And it's back over to Wilmore. Tight ropes the baseline, and he is pushed by Oster. Eight to 4. Türkiye already down to their last foul to give. Puerto Rico with 2. In their game against New Zealand, which was a close one right down to the middle. Puerto Rico only shot 33% from the field, 61% at the line, and snagged 52 rebounds. Wilmore on the handoff, out to Gaines, and he buries it. One point, that is the difference, as Kudalai seeks out Tolan, and it's back to Kudalai, who goes hard to the rack and will shoot 2. It's been back and forth so far. Omer Kudalai, 26 points and 10 assists against Slovenia back on the 28th. And he gets the first one to drop, 95%. And Kudalai's second one is good. He is in the top 10 in points, rebounds, and assists per game. Jeremy Wilmore brings the ball up. Gaines looking to escape Sheik. Gets it down to Gaines, and it's back to Arroyo. Arroyo tripped up as he approaches the free throw line, and with 6:53 to go, that will put Türkiye over the limit. Türkiye making some changes as Atahan Ajestelin checks in. 7 points and 7 rebounds in their last game. First free throw connects. Puerto Rico at the line, 72.5%, tied in 6th with the USA. Second one too strong, and Kawatasu gets the read. Down low, Tolan all by himself. He was able to make a breakaway and gives Türkiye a 4-point lead. Wilmore can't splash that one down. Rosado out of his range. He's looking for some pick and roll, will not get it. Gaines won't get the foul, but it's Lopez who puts it right back in, but it goes right out. Played almost 4 minutes here in the opening quarter. A lot of action going down as Ajestelin gets fouled. And a big merhaba to all of you tuning in who's rooting on for Türkiye. Glad to have you aboard. Ajestelin working on his first free throw, and it goes up and in. .99.5 points per game for Türkiye. And they're already at 14. Six points, 6 minutes to go. And Wilmore gets it right back from Luis Rosado. Lopez in the corner. Shot clock down to 3, and it's an offensive foul. And a big thank you to our Steve who's tuning in. And to Hassan, thank you for joining us on our live stream. This is the last day of group competition. We're in Group C. Türkiye in first place, Puerto Rico in second. Nice pick from Ajestelin. Sheik locates. 3 ball right in the face of Jeremy Wilmore. Kudalai right in the eye of Wilmore. Red hot start for Türkiye as we go the other way. As a look at Omer Yusuf Sheik, 6 points per game. Both teams over the limited fouls as Gaines' free throw bounces right in. Did not take it easy. And the second is good. And you have to expect that from Gaines every game, averaging close to 92% at the foul line. Went a perfect 6 for 6 against New Zealand. And an offensive foul as Sheik, his hands gets in the face of Gaines. And because it is an offensive foul, Puerto Rico will not go to the foul line. Sarkaya Arda is now in. One of the many players that played for Türkiye in last year's U16 Eurobasket. The dump off doesn't go down for Lopez, and neither will that basket. He'll have to earn those 2 points the old-fashioned way. Giadis is tuning in with his son, who is a very big basketball fan. So hello to Damir Meiti. A lot of people tuning in. There is 6,000 of you joining us on YouTube, and we appreciate you joining us. Evanio Lopez hasn't been in the points department in this tournament yet, but he's been making his presence known in the rebound game. And he splits the pair of free throws to bring the score up to 17-11, halfway into the first quarter. Tolan looking for the entry pass, but it's snatched back by Lopez. Rosado slicing his way to the basket, and he gets contact from Ajastelen. And we have a technical foul, and it's going to go to Türkiye. So it's Ajastelen on the personal foul, and the technical foul on the bench is credited to Hassan Omeric. Gaines missing the technical, and now Rosado will shoot his two. And he's good on the first. Puerto Rico has had a couple of firsts in group play. First time meeting against Slovenia back on the 27th. First time meeting against New Zealand. Won both of those games. Rosado makes it 2 for 2. And it's still a 2-score game. Tolan hands it over, and now it's Arda who has the rock. And it's taken by Gaines. Gaines on the run. And he doesn't get the right-hander. Ajastelen getting the rebound. Sheik going up the gut on this, going coast to coast, and he goes all the way. Count that baby, and a foul. And I'm sure Aslan Omer, who's tuning in, a young basketball fan, loved that coast to coast play. You have to go 94-50 for that one, and that was incredible. Big and one opportunity, and it goes down for Amir. Kutalai with the and one. He is labeled the Swiss Army knife for Türkiye. He could do anything. Here is Gaines for three. Yes. And Dwight Gaines, once he gets his shot going, it's hard to stop him. And Here's the drive underneath for Stellan. Unable to get it. Bench wanted a foul. We go the other way. Here is Edwin Albino. Can't connect. Pass underneath. And slipping down to the floor is Arda. Gaines guarded by Arda. And he gets a screen from Rosado. And he banks in the three. Splish, splash, cash. Gaines red hot to start things off in this Group C game in Türkiye. And Türkiye gets a timeout as Dwight Gaines is now at 13. He scored 13 of Puerto Rico's 16 points to get things underway. Türkiye having a hard time stopping the hot hand of Dwight Gaines, who scored 13. That's right. Your ears aren't deceiving you. 13 of Puerto Rico's 16 points with 3:15 remaining in the opening quarter. Here's Kutluay. Guarded heavily by Yomar Rodriguez. Kawatazu asking for the ball and gets it as he banks one over Rosado. Went left of the baseline and just guided it off the glass. Gaines picked up by the big man Stellan, putting the footwork on him, fakes, takes a step, can't get the bucket. And here's a whip around pass behind the back to Vizier Brillant. That was brilliant execution and ball movement, and Albino could not get the pass to stay in bounds. All credit to Kutluay, who was able to find Brillant as he gets on the scoreboard for the first time today. Türkiye ball and a 5-point lead for their troubles too. Stellan back to Kutluay. Kutluay driving and has that rejected by Rosado. Puerto Rico on the move. Torres in transition, and he's called for a double dribbling. Torres was trying to breeze by Brillant. And Noyed is asking if I have ever been to Türkiye before. No, I haven't, but I would love to go one of these days. I was one of the commentators for the U17 World Cup when Türkiye first had it 2 years ago, and that was a blast. One of the best tournaments that I've seen in a while, as Kutluay misses the shot and will head back to the line. Kutluay has had an outstanding U17 Basketball World Cup so far. Against Slovenia, he had a near triple-double of 26 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds, while the team shot over 50%. And not to mention the double overtime thriller against New Zealand on the first day of competition. They were down by as many as 30 into that game, or 20, I should say, and they beat New Zealand off of one of the best comebacks in FIBA history. There's a steal by Torres, and Torres drives by and sends it to Albino. Corner pocket, doesn't get that one. Arda running the floor and finds Kutulai all alone. Real estate, can't fill it up. And it's Arda again. He ran up the floor with the ball and just got an offensive board out of it. Nice screen. Arda will try the other side. Same result as he misses. Lopez plays it up to Torres. Back over to Yadiel Sanchez, who locates Albino and gets it out to Rodriguez, who can match his jersey number. Picked up again by Albino, and it will stay with Puerto Rico with under a minute to go in what has been a rapid-fire first quarter. (26-19) in favor of Türkiye. Inbounds pass underneath. It's not going to be that easy. Two shots are on the way for Yadiel Sanchez, who has been perfect at the foul line in the last two group games. Yadiel Sanchez attends the Academy of Central Florida. In last year's U16 AmeriCup, he averaged 7 points per game, dropped 14 against Brazil in their first group game. But this year, he's been averaging 2.5 rebounds and 2 points a game, and he drills the first one easily. Puerto Rico qualified this year by placing 4th in the U16 AmeriCup, losing to Venezuela in the bronze medal game. They have reduced their deficit to 5. Kutulai having trouble and has to double pump it. He got it. And Kutulai continues to put on a great exhibition. He has 12 so far, 3 of 5 from the field, 5 assists for him in nearly 10 minutes of play. And Kutluai's free throw is good yet again. Mayor's going to take a break. It makes sense too. He will have at least 2 minutes to rest. Yoderick Torres on the foul, incidentally. Fuentes surveying the floor and gets it to Torres. Torres against Arda with 5 to shoot. He drives. He locates Albino, who kisses it off the glass. Magnificent play. And meanwhile, Arda hits the deck hard. Once again, a lot of you tuning in from around the world, especially from Kingsville, Ontario, Canada. A big hello to Coco and Ollie, who are tuning in. I was told that Coco sustained a foot injury on Father's Day, and we're wishing all the best for her. She says she's icing her foot down as we speak. In the meantime, Arda misses the first free throw. Arda has yet to hit a free throw this year in the tournament, and he misses both of them, and Briant unable to put the clamps down on the rebound. Here's a breakaway for Puerto Rico, and they will slow it down. It is a 6-point lead. Game clock at 7. And here is Rodriguez on the air ball for the 3. And out of bounds is called, with Fuentes stepping on the line. And Briant did not go anywhere. He just used his height to fluster Fuentes. 1.2 to go. So Damir Ozturk will toss the ball in. Ozturk going long ball. And that will do it for quarter number one, in which Türkiye leads 29-23. The top scorer right now is Dwight Gaines. No surprise for him for Puerto Rico, as he is trying to lead his team right back into the ball game. But in the meantime, Ömer Kutluay has 13. We'll be back for the second quarter in just a moment. Back in Türkiye, in which the home team has a 29-23 lead over Puerto Rico. So far, Ömer Kutluay and Dwight Gaines have 13 points each. But Türkiye has the advantage in terms of shooting, because they have been referring to their mid and low range game, which has given them a total of 69% of the field. Puerto Rico having trouble shooting, as they're at below 30%. And as we start the second quarter, it's Kutluay who drove right in and took the contact. It's going to be most likely on Fuentes. Torres doing a good job limiting his mobility. Kutluay again, 13 points. Hey, 91% of you said Türkiye would pull off the victory thanks to the game predictor site. And you can put your prediction skills to the test with our game predictor. Guess the winner of the games and predict the margin of victory to earn points, climb the leaderboard, and get a shot at winning an official FIBA U17 World Cup game ball and Nike gift cards. Remember, you have to make your predictions 5 minutes before the tip-off. 30-23, Türkiye with the lead. They are in first place in Group C. Puerto Rico's in second. Yadrik Torres all alone as it grazes the front of the iron. Tolan doing a good job getting the rebound. Öztürk all by himself and is met at the rim by Lopez, who blocks it. It's been a block party for Puerto Rico. Wilmore trying to respond, and he does. It was Jeremy Wilmore who scored Puerto Rico's first 6 points of the game against New Zealand. They only scored 8 at the end of 1. En route to pulling up the victory. Garutazu fires away, too strong. And Wilmore zeroes in on the ball. Wilmore and Öztürk going at it here in the second quarter. And Türkiye has led since the opening tip. Tough shot, and it goes down. Dwight Gaines again, stepping up, taking charge, and getting buckets. Sheik driving away from the double team. It'll stay with Türkiye. His last touch by Wilmore with 8:27 to play in the half. Türkiye's under-17 team rising to the occasion. Karutatsu doesn't get the shot, and is going to stay with them. Again, 2 years ago, it was Türkiye who took home the U17 bronze medal after defeating New Zealand, which was an incredible run by them. They stopped Spain in the tournament, which was an upset. And they went to the podium for the second time in their history. Here's a three-ball, splish, splash, cash. Down it goes as Noi Yantolon gets it to go. And Noya is asking me, what do I think about how important height is in basketball? It's good to have the height, but when it comes to stopping someone to the bucket, you have to be careful about your positioning, because if you lean in, you're going to get a foul 9 times out of 10 called by you, and it's taken away by Karutatsu, who hits the floor immediately and is down low to Kutulai, who misses the layup, and it's almost put down by Ozturk, and he heads to the line. Noya, just to finish your question, does everyone remember when Rudy Tomjanovic, who coached the Houston Rockets to the 94 and 95 NBA championship, and he said after winning the second one, don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion? Well, I figure it would come down to that when we're talking about height too, as the first free throw connects for Ozturk, a 60% shooter, by the way. You could have the height, but it's a matter of the discipline and where you are set around on the floor. You don't want to do too much, or else it could cost you. Both free throws are good for Ozturk. With the height, you also have to be like everybody else. You got to put the work in, footwork. If you have to go into the triple threat, make sure you keep that position closed. Don't flail your elbows around or you get called for an offensive foul. Back to this game as Dwight Gaines locates Rodriguez, who misses it from the corner. Rebound by Shimshek. And Türkiye has a 3-on-2 advantage. Overhead pass for Kutluay goes awry. A 7-point game so far. It's up top to Ozturk, who plays it again to Kutluay. Kutluay gets it to Karutatsu and can't splash down the three. Rosado on the entry pass. Gaines. It was intended for Fuentes, but that goes out. Somebody asking in the chat, who is the GOAT of Türkiye, Sengun or Hito Turkoglu? I remember, and even though I was young, I remember how good Turkoglu was when he played for the Sacramento Kings in the early 2000s. In the meantime, Karutatsu lays it in, and he is fouled. Darius Karutatsu. Somebody was asking me how important is height when it comes to the game of basketball. Well, I hope the proof is in the pudding for that one, because that's the only good time where you could lean in. And Karutatsu shooting over 80% at the charity stripe gets the and one. 10-point lead for Türkiye. Puerto Rico came into this game averaging 88 points a contest, tied for 4th. Türkiye, number 2 at 99.5. Nice spin move from Wilmore as he creates separation. Can't get the J. Türkiye running the floor with no more fouls to give. And the officials say hold the phone. Nevertheless, it's going to be Türkiye's time to knock down these free throws. They are up by 10. We played more than 3 minutes into the second quarter. And looking at how well Türkiye has improved as a U17 team in the last 6 years. They hosted their first ever FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup 2 years ago. Incredible run, which ended up with a bronze finish for them. They're on the doorstep of going 3-0 in group play as they are now up by 11. Öztürk knocking it down. Gaines going behind the back on Sheik as he does it again. Gaines almost located the double team. It's out to Arroyo, who lands on the seat of his pants. 7 to shoot on the shot clock. Gaines wide open. Unable to hit. Kutluay on the board as he sends it over to Öztürk. Clean look. Kawutazu cannot get it down. And it's taken back by Kutluay. He is the Swiss Army knife of this Türkiye team as Kawutazu flushes it with 2 hands. You can put that on the board as Puerto Rico calls time. Kutluay staying near midcourt and has great ball awareness. You could call him the eagle eye as he's able to feed it to Kawutazu, who finishes it with a 2-handed jam. Puerto Rico calling timeout. They're in trouble as they're behind by 13. Other games prior to this one, USA defeating Italy, France defeating Japan, Canada topping Cameroon for a 2-1 record, Lithuania defeating China, Australia over Venezuela, Serbia versus the Ivory Coast, and right now, New Zealand ahead by 10 against Slovenia. Türkiye in this game up 41-28 as they have been causing a lot of fits for Puerto Rico here in the second quarter. The line score right now, Türkiye 12, Puerto Rico 5. And for those of you that tuned in when Puerto Rico faced New Zealand the other day, they only had 8 points in the first quarter and they trailed by 11, but they found a way to come back, outscoring New Zealand 48-37. Do they have another comeback in their bag of tricks? With 5 on the shot clock, Gaines flustered as he searches out Arroyo, who gets the triple. Actually, they're going to count that as a long 2. His foot was grazing the line, so it's 41-30. Kutluay with a rare turnover. If you're watching on YouTube, you could become a FIBA YouTube member, and there's a lot of perks. Exclusive content, just a membership away. Early access to highlights, you better believe that's a membership away. Loyalty badges and more, and you can pick from our rookie, starter, and MVP tier pack and be part of our growing community today. And you're watching the future of basketball today around the world on the FIBA YouTube channel. Nearly a turnover. It's saved by Arroyo, who's able to not get it back down underneath. Öztürk. Fast break game coming alive for Türkiye as they're close to the 50-point mark. A double-digit lead for them. Here a member of the Academy of Central Florida, able to knock it down from the near wing. Lead back to 10. Kutluay immediately met by Yadiel Sanchez. And it's a wise move, too, to pull back close to the half-court line, because with the way Puerto Rico has been playing defensively, it's been rough for them, so they're going to be using more of their body. The defense, again, like I said at the top of the broadcast, aggressive. But there is that discipline which they have to improve on in order to bounce back into this final Group C game. First free throw good for Kutluay. Second one, good as gold. Türkiye is shooting close to 80% at the stripe. Puerto Rico not doing bad at the line either, but they haven't been able to get to the line as often. 76% for them. Talking earlier about the FIBA YouTube membership, we say hello to Sami Lahainen, who's now part of the rookie tier group. Listen, your exclusive content is on the way. Here's the double shot. Doesn't go down for Dwight Gaines. Kutluay running the floor, and he puts it off the glass and in again. Kutluay just cruising down on the right side. And another out of bounds called on the sideline. Yadiel Sanchez heel at the line. Türkiye averaging close to 100 points per game, and they are well on pace for that. More than halfway into the second quarter. Set shot, no good. Underneath, rebound, no bucket. Another board. That doesn't convert into the bucket either. Heartbreak City for Artur Öztürk. Make that offensive rebound number 3. Karutazu down in traffic. And will shoot 2. Things are heating up underneath the 10. It has been a rough goings for Puerto Rico in terms of rebounds. They have now allowed 6 offensive boards. They have given up 20 in total. Karutazu bounces the first one in. You know, he had 37 points in the double overtime victory against New Zealand and 21 against Slovenia back on Sunday. And Karutazu cannot get it. And there's another old board. This time Damir Öztürk has the honors. Breezes by Rosado. Kicks it out to Arda. And he was looking for Damir Öztürk, and he had the rock slapped out of his hands. The offensive rebounds, as a lot of people have asked in the group chat how important is height. Well, there's your proof. It's now a total of 7 O boards for Türkiye. 4 on the 24. Kutluay lets it fly, and he is fouled again. Make that 3 free throws coming up. Puerto Rico has attempted 13 free throws and made 10. Türkiye is about to attempt free throws number 24 and 25. They are 18 of 23, which equals to just below 80%. It goes without saying, Türkiye, they have the depth. They could box out, and they pick their spots wisely off of a missed free throw or a long shot. 7 offensive rebounds. Enough said. First one splashes in easily for Ömer Kutluay. One of many members of the U16 Eurobasket team that ended up 7th last year. He is joined by Karutazu, Damir Öztürk, Rüzgar Opçun, who has yet to see time on the floor, and many others. 2 for 2 on that, 3 for 3, I should say, on that trip. 51 to 33. Here is Gaines on the fake, gets close, and can't put it home. Tipped by Arroyo, but could not put the clamps down on it. Kutluay with a no-looker to Damir Ozturk, met by Wilmore on the spin move. We're down to 3 minutes until halftime. Ozturk backs away in order to let Kutluay cook. Fires it over Arroyo, can't put it there. Arda Ozturk gets the rebound. Kutluay secures the loose board. And Arroyo snatches it down. Puerto Rico in trouble, almost had that taken away from them. And now it's Jeremy Wilmore who will fire it and scores. And Puerto Rico more physical and moving the ball up the floor more often than usual. And Türkiye takes time as they're ahead 51-35 with 2:27 to go in the second. While Dwight Gaines' shooting has been silent in the second quarter, Jeremy Wilmore and John Arroyo has been picking up the slack. Wilmore with a total of 7, Arroyo has 6. But in Türkiye's side, their top 2 scorers, Ömer Kutluay has 21 and Darius Karutazu has 12, a combined total of 33 points between those 2 players. Kutluay barely avoided a backcourt violation. And Ozturk has it. Arda back to Kutluay, who wheelbarrows it over late in the shot clock. And here is Ozturk, can't bank it home. Kutluay almost got rebound number 8 on the offensive side for Türkiye. Puerto Rico having a hard time boxing out, getting the rebounds, and showing their presence at the bucket. Ozturk on the teardrop, in and out. Wilmore getting the ball. He's leading Puerto Rico in this second quarter. Went for the bunny and locates Arroyo in the last second. And he gets it back and can't splash one. Here is Arda to Kutluay. Yes. Taking contact and letting it fly. Gaines was looking to cross over Ömer Kutluay and instead draws the foul. Kutluay will take a breather after picking up his first foul of the evening. And Amir Yasici has checked in. More depth for Türkiye as he's guarding Dwight Gaines. Gaines only 2 points in the second quarter. Can't make it 5 there. We're in Istanbul, Türkiye, home for the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup for the second straight time. And Darius Karutazu is making it rain. A 20-point lead, Türkiye's largest lead in Group Day number 3. Gaines, a beautiful pass for Wilmore, and that will not count. That would have been one for the highlight reel on SportsCenter had Wilmore stayed in bounds. We've seen a handful of out-of-bounds calls from Puerto Rico. And again, it goes to show how much discipline they need, especially now where they're at of the basket. Vizier Briand, all muscle, all heart, and 2 points to go with it. Briand now with 4. Shot clock dead for the final 10 seconds. Wilmore with 5, goes inside with 3, and can't get it down. Briand pulls down the rebound, and that will do it for the half. It's been all Türkiye. In the first 20 minutes of play, Puerto Rico having miscommunication when it comes to rebounds, and it's 57-35 in favor of the host team. We'll come back in less than 15 minutes for the second half. I'm Aaron Sanders, and you're watching continuing coverage of the 2026 FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup. Türkiye in the lead, thanks to Omar Kutluay, who has 21.
Nice pass to Suigo. Hammers it in for 2. Vulanovas here dishing it off. Trying to get going in transition. The steal comes away. Matthews. Throwing it up top, and there it is. Our first highlight of the day early on in this one. Big time slam from the number 5, Troy Plumtree. Going up against Reed. Oh my goodness! Oh my! AJ DeBranza punishing. Oh, that's a huge rejection from Garavaglia. Get that out of here. And once again, they slow down the offense. This has been allowed to be double teamed again. And DeBranza holding up for 2. They've got to get someone in the middle there. fake a pass, make the pass, and the timeout called as USA run out to a 10-point lead. Oh, that's nasty, that block. Major pin to the glass, put it on a notice board. Caleb Hall. It's stolen away by Spain, pushing forward. A fight for possession here. Arnott has it now. It's 3 versus 1. The ball goes to the bucket. Energy! Jumps it home. Right on time. 2-point lead. Yeah, this pass here. Carvalho. It's knocked away from him. Man, the quit throwing it up. Musa. Tries to spin move, his pocket is picked. Debansa. Oh my goodness! Baptism of fire! AJ Debansa. Steal, Perez loses it. McCoy Jr. off the glass, Stokes! Setting it up to beat the buzzer. A buzzer beater, oop off the glass. McCoy Jr., Tyron Stokes, USA on smoke.
attacks to close out. Bruno inside.
Fills it up. love it. They absolutely love seeing it.
Nice pass to Swigo. Hammers it in for two. Vulanovas here dishing it off. Trying to get going in transition. The steal comes away. Matthews. Throwing it up top, and there it is. Our first highlight of the day early on in this one. Big time slam from the number 5, Troy Plumtree. Going up against Green. Oh my goodness! Oh my, AJ DeBansa punishing. Oh, that's a huge rejection from Garavalia. Get that out of here. And once again, they slow down the offense. It's been allowed to be double-teamed again. And DeBansa holding up the two. They've got to get someone in the middle there. Fake a pass, make the pass. And a timeout call as USA run out to a 10-point lead. Oh, that's nasty, that block. Major pin to the glass, put it on a notice board. Caleb Hall. It's stolen away by Spaniard. Pushing forward. A fight for position here. Arnett has it now. It's 3 versus 1. The ball goes to the bucket. Energy! Jumps it home. Right on time. 2-point lead. Get out this pass here. Carvalho is knocked away from him. Man to quit throwing it up. Tries the spin move, his pocket is picked. DeBansa. Oh my goodness! Baptism of fire! AJ DeBansa. Steal, Perez loses it. McCoy Jr. off the glass, Stones! Setting it up to beat the buzzer. A buzzer beater, oop off the glass. McCoy Jr., Tyron Stokes, USA on smoke.
I'm Aaron Sanders, and we're moments away from the start of the second half between Türkiye and Puerto Rico. Türkiye holding on to a 57-35 lead. And there was one comment in the YouTube live chat, and this came from The Answer. And The Answer said Puerto Rico has been relying on the threes, and that's been one of their weak points in the first 20 minutes of action. They've gone 5 of 19 from three-point land, but that isn't the only problem. Their main problem has been battling on the boards against Türkiye. They've been out-rebounded by 9, 27-18. And that magic number 9, that's how many offensive rebounds they gave up. Not to mention, when you have Omer Kutlay leading the way with 23 points, along with Darius Karatazu's 14, that is an issue. The only player in double-digit figures for Puerto Rico is Dwight Gaines with 15, and he starts the second half with the ball. Puerto Rico shot 29% from the field, not a good scoring performance, and it's sent back by Damir Ozturk. And Karutazu unable to finish the layup. Both teams a 2-0 record. Türkiye looking for a first place finish in Group C. Down the floor, Rosado gliding in and can't finish. Kutlai underneath to Sheik. And Omar Sheik gets on the scoreboard for the first time today. Picked up 6 points in the win against Slovenia back on Sunday. Darrell Rodriguez underneath, lets it fly. Air ball picked up by Rosado, and there is a whistle with 5 seconds on the 24. No free throws as we are a minute in to the third quarter. Baby hook, good for Rodriguez. Last we checked with New Zealand and Slovenia, New Zealand was up by 10 at halftime. That lead has been cut to 6, with Slovenia starting the third quarter off on a high note. Kutlai locates Tolan. Those two started the game red hot, and Karutazu is flat on the three-pointer, and he makes up for it. He stayed on it on an errant pass from Puerto Rico, who can't make Türkiye pay. Rebound pulled down by Karutazu. Kutlai. Back to Tolan. Kutlai resets. 1-on-1 against Wilmore. He has 6 to shoot and was looking for Ozturk. And Damir Ozturk took 1 step too many prior to the pass. The final day of group play before we get into the round of 16 tomorrow. Pass nearly taken away by Karutazu, retained by Arroyo, who goes for the circus shot. And the rebound is saved by Tolan as he had a toe on the line. Kutlai looking for contact, and he got it. It may go to Dwight Gaines. We will find out. Two free throws coming up. Nope, my mistake. That was on the floor. Down low underneath, yes! Darius Karutazu makes it. And 1 coming up, and that will be free throw number 26 for Türkiye. They are 21 of 25 at the line. The last foul was on Luis Rosado. And the one that led to the and 1. Karutazu taking his time. Foul was on Rodriguez. He misses it. Ball back tapped over to Sheik. Kutlai asking for the screen from Tolan. He got it as he curls to the left. 3 to shoot. Baseball pass over to Ozturk. He lets it fly. And this time it's Jeremy Wilmore getting the board. Puerto Rico again 5 of 19 from downtown today. They have to rely more on the inside play. That's what Luis Rosado's doing as he calls glass. Rosado, one of the few big men for Puerto Rico, making his presence with 6 rebounds in his first field goal. Kutlai can't make it rain. And it's picked up by Arroyo. John Arroyo And Demir Ozturk got his hands caught in the cookie jar, and he takes the foul. And this time Rosado will play it in. Dwight gains a total of 15 points for him. He's looking to make it 18, and he does. Got it right in between the eyes. He had 13 in the first quarter, only 2 in the second, as he's close to 20. He had points against Slovenia back on the first day of competition, and he averages 31 in the U17s. Here is Tolan from deep. It's not only the ball movement, but it's the placement to lead to a good-looking shot. Gaines thought he got hit in the head, but nonetheless, it's Rosado who handles the rock and scores. He took a drive right down Main Street and got the teardrop to fall. Played 4 minutes in the second half. Türkiye 66, Puerto Rico 44, and here is Schick on the kickout. Demir Ozturk is looking to dump it down for Tolan, but one pass too many leads into an Arroyo steal. And it was all for naught as he goes out of bounds. Puerto Rico has had a lot of problems with the baseline drive and has led to a lot of out-of-bound plays. Sheik plays it to Karutazu. A lot of bigs for Türkiye now as Arda Ozturk hits the floor. Kutlay breezes through Arroyo, looking for an opening, dumps it down to Ozturk, who gets it in. Took a little bit of time, but it goes down the hatch. White Gaines having difficulty. Wilmore, he had a lot of space, but instead to go into the breadbasket of Karutazu. And look at that, Jeremy Wilmore, a lot of space to let it fly because Karutazu could not recover off of the crossover. But Puerto Rico playing smart by trying to go deep and attack. So Arroyo comes out for Puerto Rico. Gaines takes his time, goes for the pull-up, and misses. Albino checked in for Arroyo. Kutlay taking a few minutes off, with Sarpkaya Arda taking his place. There are a handful of Türkiye fans in the live chat today, and for Team Puerto Rico too. Here's the shot. It will lead to free throws again. Dwight Gaines using his leadership to power through all the fouls and the shots. And he will head to the line. Omer Schick on the foul. And Gaines gets the first one to go. He has made 5 out of a possible 6. Along with his 18 points, he's picked up 4 assists and only a rebound. But has 4 turnovers. That's been the main problem. One of the main problems for Puerto Rico, and it's not put back in by Darrell Rodriguez. Good hustle as Puerto Rico gets a rare offensive rebound. Karutazo goes outside for Schick, who has 7 to shoot, gets close. Bryant taking the hit and misses the reverse. Gaines shovels it over, and now it's Jeremy Wilmore's turn. He's guarded by Karutazu, and he spots up and buries it. That's a big one. And Schick looking for the bounce pass, but Darrell Rodriguez was right ahead of it. Here's a big break. 3 ball, no good. Albino misses. And here comes Arda on a 3-on-2. Arda going down, taking the hit with Sheik. And Bryant holding his ground. Isaiah Bryant on the floor, the power forward. Omar Schick checks out. Puerto Rico also making changes. With Alexis Fuentes checking back in. Evanio Lopez checking in for Rosado. And Kartel Borashimchek has checked in. He just went for the 3 and it went in and out. Puerto Rico relying for the long ball like Jeremy Wilmore. That goes in and out too. Heartbreak city for both teams on the last trip. Foul down the half-court line. We're late in the 3rd quarter. Final game in group competition. This is Group C action between Türkiye and New Zealand and Puerto Rico, I should say. Tomorrow starts the round of 16. Öztürk with a nice look to Şimşek, who goes down for Bryant. Bryant to Karutazu, and another whistle down low. Kotiora asked, do any of us see Kutlai playing in the NBA in the future? I believe so. He has the makings of a very good guard. He can move with the ball. He can look for the fancy dimes, which he has done earlier in the game as the first free throw is good for Karutazu. We saw that wonderful feed that he gave to Bazir Bryant early into the game. He reminds me a little bit of Luka Doncic. Both free throws good for Karutazu as he matches his jersey number at the foul line. And speaking of Kutlai, here he comes as he replaces Arda. It is 70-48 with under 3 to go in the 3rd. And bad pass leads into a steal from Öztürk. Kutlai not going to pull it yet. He's looking down for the big man, now got it to Öztürk. Arda Öztürk goes for the baby hook. Can't get that to drop. This will be another foul with both teams over the foul limit. Again, Puerto Rico 11 of 15 for the day. It's down to Evanio Lopez, who has gone 1 for 2 prior to this trip. And splashes one. His 2nd point, all of them coming at the line, along with his 4 rebounds. But he's playing in jeopardy with 4 fouls, so he has to be careful. Bryant pulls down the rebound. And Kutlai, he is met heavily by Torres. And searches out Karutazu, who splashes in another triple. .73 now for Türkiye. Fuentes having trouble getting by Shimshek. He makes the move and misses. Bryant saying, I'm wide open right underneath the basket. But it did not work out for him. Fuentes covering up underneath. Kutlai back upstairs as he puts the moves on Portilla and is smothered. And that is the 23rd foul of the game for Puerto Rico. In the field goal range, Turkey is shooting 48%. Puerto Rico started out very rough. They shot under 30% at the end of the first quarter, and they are shooting 29%, so very, very close. They try to get back in the ball game by finding enough separation to pull down a three, but they have gone 30% ice cold from three-pointers and shooting in general. Kutlai too strong on the first as it bounces off the iron. Kutlai and Karatazu with 23 each. They are responsible for 46 of Turkey's 73 points. Make that 27, 47. Kutlai 13 of 15 at the stripe. He has another double-double, 24 and 11. Those are his stats. Here's the feed to Rodriguez as he plays hot potato with Sanchez. Sanchez grazing the baseline. And is out to Rodriguez, who looks up at the clock and fires it and misses. And it will go back to Türkiye with 1:07 to go. Puerto Rico with two players in double digits. Dwight Gaines with 19. Hot first quarter, but it's been ice cold since. Only scoring 6 points between the second and third quarter. Jeremy Wilmore picked up the charge and picked up the pieces in the second quarter alone, but haven't heard much from him. Shimshek bombs away and he gets it. Shimshek has given Türkiye their 5th three of the game out of a possible 17. As they're close to the 80-point mark. Finger roll. Unlucky is Portilla. Kutlai going behind the back on Torres. Gets the screen from Öztürk, who fires it away to Bryant. And no good. With 17 seconds to go, it will be Sanchez to shoot the two shots. Bryant on the foul. Yadiel Sanchez picked up 3 rebounds in the last game. The player of the Academy of Central Florida gets the first one to go easily. All of his points have come from the line. He's looking for his 4th one and he misses. So the unsportsmanlike foul from Bryant gives Puerto Rico at least one more possession before the end of the third. The official making sure that Arda Öztürk's jersey is tucked in. And a technical foul on Türkiye means more free throws on the way for Puerto Rico. And this time Fuentes buries it. The technical foul was given to Arda Öztürk. Had to do something with tucking in the jersey. But nevertheless, Torres and Puerto Rico will have one last stop. Sanchez can't get the bucket to go, and now it's out to Fuentes. Fuentes fires it and hits at the shot clock buzzer, and that's a strong way to end the third quarter A huge three with Fuentes fueling the fire for Puerto Rico to wrap up the third quarter. But it's Türkiye who is ahead 77-51. The line score after three, Türkiye with 20, Puerto Rico with 19. We'll be back for the fourth quarter after this. After three, the leading scorers for both teams. Türkiye has Ömer Kutlay with no surprise, leading the way with 24 points. Dwight Gaines has 19. He has only scored 6 points since a red-hot first quarter in which he ended up with 13. Puerto Rico picking up the pieces after trailing by their largest deficit in the game, but they have 10 more minutes to try to cause an upset to wrap up Group C play. We begin the fourth quarter with Öztürk feeding it down to Kutlay, who misses it. And it's pulled down by Fuentes, who pulled down and knocked down the three before time ran out in the third. Underneath, Yadiel Sanchez has his shot denied. Breakaway for Türkiye. The reverse, no good. As Amir Yazici was looking to finish off the fast break. Nifty feed for him. And it was Michael Portilla who was behind on the play and took the contact. So that is his foul, and the first free throw is off the march for Yazici. Türkiye, of course, playing for first place. Same with Puerto Rico. They have identical records. 2-0 in group play for these two teams. And another long ball is good. And keep in mind, Puerto Rico was 5 of 19 from three-point land at the half. And they've become more efficient on the threes since coming out of the locker room. Shimshek on the pull-up and doesn't get that one to drop. Öztürk tried to get the rebound, and a smart play from Yoderick Torres just to throw it right into the breadbasket of Arda Öztürk. And it's interesting that he did it at that corner too, because that's where Puerto Rico has had their qualms. A handful of times in the first half they were called for out of bounds calls because they did not keep their feet inbound. Their feet were not planted. And they're looking to make Türkiye pay underneath the basket. Sanchez all the way. And here is Ajastilin. Kutlay toe-to-toe with Portilla, blitzing through the traffic. And we'll have 2 shots to go with it. Double team coverage, this time from Portilla and Rodriguez. Rodriguez coming in a bit too late. Türkiye 24 of 33 at the foul line prior to this one, and Kutlay continues to make it rain. 14 of 16 for him. Another double-double performance of 24 and 12 against New Zealand, or Slovenia, I should say. He had 26 points and 10 assists with 9 rebounds. So the top scorer in the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup continues to fill it up, while averaging 32.5 points per game. On the other side, Alexis Fuentes goes deep, and too much of the elbow waves off the shot. Too much elbow this time from Alexis Fuentes. Fuentes was trying to outwit Ozturk on the spin move to break away from him. Kutlai, 26 points off the Sheik, who has a field goal. Pick coming up from Ajastelin, and he locates Ozturk right away. Rebound, pulled down, and it's in. Kutlai making it 28. Last game before the round of 16 starts tomorrow. We have some of the matchups for the round of 16, 4 of them already set. USA against Cameroon, France meeting China, Canada and Italy will battle, and Japan and Lithuania will do battle as well. Whoever ends up in first place in Group C will meet Venezuela tomorrow. Whoever ends up in second has the Ivory Coast. Last I checked, New Zealand was leading in their game against Slovenia. And if they end up in third place, they will take Serbia. It'll be Slovenia and Australia to round up the round of 16. So we saw Kutlai get a technical foul, and Ozturk with the first personal foul. Fuentes going to the line and making it rain. Fuentes helping Puerto Rico try to bounce back into this game. They are down by 20 with 2 minutes going by in the fourth quarter. The bad pass taken away by Rodriguez. He tight ropes the sideline and almost tripped. Torres playing through and playing hard while getting the contact. There's a lot of viewers saying that Kutlai is a machine. Another double-double performance for him. That is his third straight in the last few days. And here is Fuentes, too soft on the shot. Rebound picked up by Ozturk. And another whistle. $7:12 remaining. Once again, hope you're able to stick around with us through the end of the week. We will find out who will be the gold medalists of the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup. And you can make your predictions on our game predictor section over on the website. You have to do it 5 minutes before tip-off. There are prizes galore waiting for you if you participate. And shots continue to fall down for Kutlai as he gets close to another 30-point performance, and a big rejection from Ajastelin. Türkiye has numbers. It's dumped down to Sheik. He's having trouble underneath the 10. Goes back to the big man. Now Kutlai. He cools the Jets a little bit. Kutlai for three. No good. And another steal. And Yasici taking a moment. Kutlai asking for the ball. Sheik looking to take care of it himself. Kutlai has it now. He's looking for a low pass, and it's taken by Sanchez. And we play on. Fuentes was right there at the right time. Went for the teardrop. And he will shoot two. Foul by Demir Ozturk. And again, somebody asked in the live chat, how important is height when it comes to the game of basketball? It's very important, but you have to make sure you know when to use that height, because leaning in trying to stop somebody for a shot, it's not going to work out. Alexis Fuentes has provided firepower for Puerto Rico since the start of the second half. He has 10 points along with his 5 rebounds. Fuentes had 3 games with more than 10 points in last year's U17 America. He has 11 points at the moment. The 3rd player to be in double-digit figures for Puerto Rico, along with Wilmore and Gaines. Fuentes not happy about it. He thought he stole the ball. But that's not the case. Türkiye with 3 players in double digits, and that includes Omar Kutlay, who now has 31. Two for 2 on that trip, 85-63, that's the score. In the final moments of group play for all teams participating. Round of 16 starts tomorrow, then all teams will have a day off on Thursday before the quarterfinals on Friday, semifinals Saturday, and the bronze and gold medal game will be on Sunday. Tolan started out pretty well along with Kutlay to start the game. He was the one making sure that he exposes Puerto Rico's weak side defense. High shot doesn't go for Karutazu. Puerto Rico 4-on-2. Sanchez, no good. It would have been a long 2 had it went. And more action underneath the basket. Evanio Lopez was the only one that boxed out the moment that 3-pointer went away. But it's Portilla that came up with the foul, and the first one is good for Schick. Türkiye survived double overtime against New Zealand. They won in 112-100 on the 27th, and on the 28th took care of business against Slovenia 87-66. That's why they're 2-0. Puerto Rico defeated Slovenia and New Zealand by a margin of 11 points. Average margin after 2 games. Fall-away shot is good. And that will lead into more shots. This time, Michael Portilla gets it down. He got the shake and bake move on Evanio Lopez, who took away his right side and gave him a bump. "21-point Türkiye lead with under 5 minutes to go in the ballgame. Puerto Rico now stepping up with a double team. It's exposed, and Sheik gets it down. Omar Sheik, that's another player that's been exceptionally well in the second half. He makes it 90-66. Bucket goes as Puerto Rico approaches 70 points. And if they do that, they'll be the 3rd straight time they have scored 70 or more points. Sheik, same spot, same result. Exposing the defense is the important part in basketball, and the way Türkiye had that ball movement going, it was bound to happen. Schick picked his spot, retreated to the three-point line, and buried another one. Up top now for Rodriguez. Rodriguez taking on Arda, fires away, and falls flat. And now it's Arda's turn to run right to the basket, and he got it down. Oh, baby. You could count that along with a technical foul. A rampage here in the fourth quarter. And Arda took on Rodriguez, finished with the right hand with his back turn. With his back turn, mind you. Türkiye trying to make it another runaway game. Schick will shoot the technical. And the line score has been exceptionally close in the fourth quarter. 19-14 for Türkiye. And Bazir Bryant appears to be checking back in. Amir Yasici in for Kawatazu. So that will more or less wrap things up for Kawatazu in group play. He ended up with 23 points, a rebound away from a double-double. And Yomar Rodriguez matches his jersey number as he calls corner pocket. Omar Schick stepping up, he has 11. Wants a screen and gets it. And he defers it to Yasici. Yasici kicks it back out to Arda, who gets it over to Sheik. And that would have blown the roof off of this arena. This is the third straight game Puerto Rico has scored 70 or more points in group play for Türkiye. If they get to 100, it will be the second time they have done that in the last 3 tries. Hassan Omerchek emptying his bench for the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds. With Kutlai's night coming to an end on a high note once again. Bryant's three is a miss, and it's picked up by Ajastel. Bryant will drive to the lane this time and take contact. Omer Kutlai with another 30-plus point performance. 32 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds. Off of 47% shooting. 17 of 19 at the foul line. The other players helping him out. Kawatazu with 23, 9 and 3. Omar Sheik with 11. Noyan Tolan had 12 points. A majority of his points came in the first half. And Bryant gets the first one to drop. And the second one as well. 5 points a game for Bryant. And it's a 98-71 game. Portilla taking on Arda, spins by him, and gets it to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to secure the loose ball. And a lot of calamity on the floor as the clock continues to run. Even in garbage time, you're not going to see a lack of hustle from any of these teams. A bit of jawing, which results in a warning from the officials. Orlando Pantoja talking to Yomar Rodriguez. And Yadiel Sanchez will step up to the line. Puerto Rico now 20 of 27 at the foul line. And here comes the second. It's high, it's arcing, it's good. Türkiye, another fantastic run for them in group play. 2 years ago, they hosted the U17 Basketball World Cup. Took home a FIBA bronze medal in their efforts. The future of Türkiye basketball is bright. On the other end is Michael Portilla looking for the shot. Doesn't get that one to drop. And it's retained by Arroyo, who can't cash in either. Rodriguez, and Portilla was fighting for it, but as Portilla is able to get it. Third chance now for Puerto Rico. And here's the shot from Rodriguez, way off. This time Lopez draws contact from Ozturk. A problem for Puerto Rico has been their rebounding, and it showed on that play. Lopez was the only one to go for the rebound after the shot. Not a lot of players clustering around the basket. And in the rebound department, Türkiye had 48, Puerto Rico has 41, a +7. Earlier in the game, Puerto Rico had trouble shutting down Türkiye in their offensive rebounds, but now they're giving Türkiye a taste of their own medicine. 16-13 on the O boards. The first free throw is good. Puerto Rico has been known on putting on fantastic runs to come back late in the game and pull off the victory. They did that against Slovenia after having a slow start of the game. They used a 13-0 run in the second to pull away from them. Against New Zealand, they were down 19-8 at the end of the first quarter. It was Jeremy Wilmore who scored the team's first 6 points after going without a field goal in the first couple of minutes. That was the same game where Dwight Gaines went 0 for 6 before putting on 30 points. And in the second half, they were able to outwit New Zealand, putting up 48 points in the third and fourth quarter combined, while only giving up 37. But they are now down 23 with 1 minute and 18 seconds to go. Türkiye getting Sarp Kaya Arda out of the game as they are cruising to a 3-0 record in Group C and first place in that group as well. Agestelin from downtown, no good. Bryant the rebound, can't get the putback. John Arroyo, through all the red shirts, pulls the rebound down. Albino misses from the side. And Bryant is down to the other end of the floor. A group sweep on the way for Türkiye as they're looking for their second straight appearance at the podium by the end of this week. Bryant could not control it with the shot clock winding down. Türkiye has won 2 medals in FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup play. They won silver 10 years ago and the bronze 2 years ago. Puerto Rico took home bronze in 2018, which incidentally was the last time these two teams met in U17 play. Different story this time as the banker is good for Portilla. It was Puerto Rico that won 76-68 8 years ago in group play. But boy, has a lot changed in the last 8 years. Türkiye has swept Group C, 3-0 record for them as they cruise to another dominating finish. 98-77. Puerto Rico had Dwight Gaines with 19 points. He was very active in the first quarter, scoring 13 points, but very silent in the scoring department, scoring only 6 points after that. Jeremy Wilmore ends up with 10. Alexis Fuentes helped Puerto Rico try to get back into it in the second half. He ends up with a total of 11. But the story again, Türkiye dominating with Ömer Kutlay with 32 points, 12 assists, and 7 boards. Türkiye dominating at the foul line at 78%. The best free throw shooting team prevails while shooting 45% overall. Darius Karatazu ended up with 23 points, a rebound away from a double-double. And Noyan Tolan, who was active in the first half, didn't see much of him in the second. He ended up with 12 points and 4 boards. And rounding it all off was Omer Sheikh, who had 11 points, most of them coming into the second half. So that's the story for you in group play as it comes to a close. It will be Venezuela taking on Türkiye tomorrow. And with Puerto Rico falling to second place, they will meet the Ivory Coast. So the round of 16 is pretty much set up. USA versus Cameroon, France versus China, Italy against Canada, Japan versus Lithuania, Türkiye versus Venezuela, Puerto Rico and the Ivory Coast. And we're going to try to check an update on the New Zealand game. It's very close, a 9-point lead for New Zealand. And should they pull it off, they will end up taking on Serbia, and Slovenia will take on Australia. So those last 2 matchups in the round of 16, yet to be decided, still close. So we invite you to tune in to watch the remainder of that game. But in this one, Türkiye, the host team, prevails over Puerto Rico 98-77 and ends Group C play with a 3-0 record. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you all that's tuned in on the FIBA YouTube channel and the live chat as well. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I will talk to you again in the round of 16 tomorrow. We'll send you over now to the New Zealand game as they are taking on Serbia. We'll talk again soon, but now for the entire crew of FIBA, along with the great people behind the scenes and our great fans, including Coco and Ollie, remember, there are plenty of good sports out there, so you be one too. We'll talk again tomorrow, but until then, this be Aaron Sanders saying you've been watching continuing coverage of the 2026 FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup. So long, everybody.